So guys, welcome back to the channel. Surprisingly, I found this at Five Below. So this is a beeper true wireless earbud with a digital display, which is pretty interesting. What really made me gravitate toward this was the fact that I kind of like this. I grew up in the era of beepers, so you can actually clip this on your belt if you choose to, and you just slide the beeper inside. Of course, they are open ear design, so it's not going to be super deep bass or anything like that. And lastly, I say the battery life is actually pretty good. Normally, Five Below products have like a 2 to 3 hour battery life, but you are getting a total of 15 hours. So 10 inside the case, which gives you 2 charges, like it says, and then 5 hours in the actual buds themselves, which I think is a pretty good thing. And that'll get you through the day for the most part for the person out there that's traveling and things like that. Now, none of this matters unless it actually sounds good and that the mics are good. And we're going to test it out in a little bit in its review. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Timestamps in the description for the person that wants to skip parts because they don't want to hear me talk. Anyway, let's get right to it. So it doesn't seem like there's much inside the box, if I'm being honest. We have the actual case itself right here. Of course, we have the 2 buds. My suggestion is to charge these buds up before you actually use them, because a lot of times they've been in the plastic for a long time. So it's a possibility that they're not really charged, but there does seem to be some type of charge right here. It says the time is 22:21, which if you look at military time, just minus this and you can get, 12, what would that be, 10:22? I think that's the time. But it actually shows the battery life right here. And it looks like the right-hand side is the battery life of the case itself. So I'm guessing if you press these buttons, it probably allows you to change these things, which I'll check it out in a moment. Don't mind the cat meowing in the background. She is in her heat cycle. Anyway, we have the USB-C right here. Luna, chill. Anyway, we have the USB-C right here. It's not a super long cord, but if you have one for your, probably like your iPhone or your Android device or tablet or something like that, that'll work just fine with this. Of course, the USB-C is on the bottom right here. You just plug it in, you're good to go. I did feel a little bit resistance. It's kind of hard to take the cord out, but maybe it's just the model that I have in particular, but that's that. And of course, we do have the instructions right here, but I'm gonna go over this in a moment in another section. More importantly, let's talk about this. So here are the buds. So as soon as you pop them open, you'll see the red symbol if they're charging. They're pretty easy to take out. This is a very small bud, by the way. I like this. So it's similar to the AirPods in terms of the shape, the open ear right here. This is very similar. It's almost like a replica to the AirPods in this demeanor, but it's a much shorter stem on the back right here. And as a matter of fact, it actually gives the little symbol that says R. And the one over here, the left side, will say L, so it's easier to determine which side is the left and the right. Though if you try to put the left side and the right side, it's just not going to fit at all. So that's also a clear indicator that you got it in the right side. But yeah, like I was saying before, if you pop them inside the case, on the left-hand side, it'll show the left side charging. Right-hand side will show the right side charging, and the 27% you see here is the actual case itself. You can probably change the time. I'm going to look over the instructions in a moment. As a matter of fact, no, let's do it right now. Right here, it actually shows you. It says minutes, this display on, display screen, hours. So I'm thinking, how do you do this? I'm curious. I'm going to do this off camera and explain it to you guys. Let me learn a little bit more about this headset before I do anything else, and I'll come right back. Let's move over to the next section, which is going to be the instructions themselves. Alrighty, so when it comes to the instructions right here, I already figured out how to do the time to change this, so I'll show you guys in a moment. But it does show you in the instructions itself. Shows you the buds right here. My suggestion is to take a picture of this, screenshot it if you need to, if you're using a phone, so you can have the instructions. I'm about to show you in a moment. Over here is how you change everything, so I'll show that manually in a second. But if you flip it over, it shows you how to actually sync the buds, of course, listening to music, pause and play for, it looks like 1 tap. Triple taps are for previous track, and triple tap on the left hand side does the next song, the previous song, I'm sorry. Triple tap on the right hand side does the next song. If you tap either one twice, it does Siri or Google Assistant. But realistically, I don't know if people really use it that way. You could just probably just say, hey, activated. I don't want to say that because I got Google devices all around the house. For a single tap is answer calls. Tap again once for end calls. That seems a little dangerous because a lot of times you might want to double tap for that, but I guess you can't do that. And if you tap and hold it for 1 second, 1 or 2 seconds, sorry, 2 seconds, I'm sorry, it actually rejects the phone call. So single taps to answer, single taps to hang up, and then you tap and hold it to actually reject the call altogether. Or if you're not familiar with the touch controls, just go ahead and, what's the word I'm looking for here? To use your phone to hang up. Now, here's the interesting part. If you tap this button right here, it turns on the display itself. If we hold this changes the time, the button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hold that right now. And as you can see, it now I can do it. So if I want to change the time, it's 8:29, for example. I'm going to go ahead and tap this, go to 8. And if I tap the right-hand side once, what that does is it switches over to the minutes. Then I can go ahead and tap it to 8:29, and I'm going to go ahead and hold it and see if it sets the time. Oh, it doesn't. I changed the time. My bad. Hold on, let me go back up there. Okay, so it changes the time to military time. So that means I need to put it at, what is it, 20? Yeah, seems like it doesn't do hourly, like the PM. So I'm going to put it at 20, and is that enough? There we go. So in case you're wondering, anything after 12 in military time, like it hits 13, minus it by 12, and that's how you get the time in PM. So technically 12 minus 20 is 8, obviously. So that means it's 8:29. And what is going on this side? I think, this is the actual battery to the case that is dying. I forgot I unboxed this recently just to kind of figure out if it's good or not. So yeah, that is how you actually use it. It's actually pretty simple for the most part. And at the end of the day, all I will say is it's an interesting design. Now this does come in different colors, of course, and you have this little piece, that's the clip right here. I should have probably showed it to you better in the video a little bit earlier, but you can hook this on your belt and just slide this in like the old-fashioned beepers. And yes, beepers was a real thing back in the day. So anyway, with that being said, let's move on. I want to show you guys how to actually sync these buds. So syncing the buds should be pretty simple. All you got to do is open up the case. I'm going to go ahead and take both buds out. As you can see, one is blinking. They're both blinking. My guess is that, here we go. The right side is going to sync to the left side, and then it's in pairing mode where I can connect it to any device that I want to right now. These don't have multi-point or anything like that, so kind of keep that in mind. So here we go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for you guys is I'm going to go to the settings and show you how to actually sync it. And in case you're wondering, this is actually a feature of a Motorola device. For the wallpaper, you can have like different background settings and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go over to the settings. We are going to go to Bluetooth. Keep in mind, this will work for Apple devices. This will work if you're using a PC. Anything that has Bluetooth, like a connection, like a computer, like it will work for these headphones. Pair new device. See what pops up. Pager TWS. That is what we need to tap on. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me see if it says connected or anything when I do that. It doesn't. It'll just say boop, boop, a little beep noise, and you're good to go. And these are at 10%. So they're dying pretty fast. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is charge them up for a little bit. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the quality of the microphones and the music quality, the part that you're actually here for. Battery life is 5 hours, so that's a good thing. That's not too bad. Talk time is definitely going to be a little bit less, but quality of sound is what matters for these buds. And hopefully they are good. They do cost a whopping $8, which isn't a lot of money, but I'm hoping they sound good. So we need to talk about the quality of the music on this. It's not bad. It doesn't have a crazy loud volume, obviously, because they are $8 headphones. I do want to go ahead and say this is the first time I ever used this brand called Beeper. I don't even know what the brand is actually called, but it says Beeper on the front of the box. I do think that the bass isn't crazy punchy. Obviously, it's an open ear headset. Most of them don't have crazy punchy bass. The vocals are very, very clean. So if you're listening to someone scream, like for instance, I like Trippie Redd, Extentacion. I think I said the name correctly. I listened to one of the Little Uzi Vert songs, Red Moon. I'm actually looking at my playlist right now. Lil Wayne, if I play guitar, Lil Wayne, Jelly Roll, Big Sean, you know, his new CD. And I just tried different genres. And I can honestly say that, granted, you know, it doesn't have crazy bass. I expect that. But the vocals are clean. The background instruments sound pretty good. I didn't have any breakage when I turned it up to 100%. The 100% for this isn't super loud either, by the way. So I just want to kind of keep that in mind. I don't suggest anyone to ever listen to 100% because we all have different sensitivities, but it's not booming loud sound, but it is good enough where if you're catching a basic bus or if you're walking outside, you can you'll like it, in my opinion, in terms of music. But once you introduce like background noise, if you're sitting on a train, it's rocking back and forth, you can hear the tracks. Everything is going to overpower this. Conversations with other people around you, if it's multiple people, are going to overpower this headset. It's actually going to force you to turn it up. And then you don't want to listen to it at its highest because you can damage your ears. But not bad for $8. Nothing to write home about. I don't know if it's going to last a long time because these products tend to be very cheap from Five Below, but so far I do like it. So to kind of give you an example of some of the songs that I played outside of this, let me go into my rock category a little bit. I did play Enter Sandman by Metallica, Kicking the Teeth by Papa Roach, give you the exact name of the songs, Wait and Bleed by Slipknot, Long Way Down by Gary Newman. I think that's his song because, you know, I download stuff as is off YouTube and I pay for it. So sometimes I change the names of the songs, but I believe that's what it's called. Electric Eye by Judas Priest. And if we're talking about R&B, I actually did a couple Childish Gambino songs like Summertime. I forgot what the other one is called, but one of the songs I really like, one of my favorite songs is As Long As I Live by, what is her name? Toni Braxton. That's actually probably her best song she ever made her entire life. But that's a really good song. And the range of quality was good. It's not bad. It's not like you're going to use these and you're going to feel like they're trash. They're actually perform very, very well. But again, if you're around other people, you're going to see the limitations of this headset very, very quickly. So with that being said, if we're talking about music, I think they're not bad for that. But obviously we need to move on to the voice.
Just in case you're wondering, I'm actually talking to you guys on the Beaker headset right now using the Samsung Recorder app. Now, for people wondering how to actually use the audio for a Bluetooth headset, you go to the settings of the application itself and it actually gives you an option to use available Bluetooth microphone available. Once you click on that, any Bluetooth headset that has a microphone, when you start recording with this app, it'll record with that instead of the actual phone itself. So I figured I'd just let you guys know that, and this is going to be the setting or the section where I'm actually recording with said headset. So if you like how this sounds, guess what? That means this headset will work for you.
So if we're talking about the quality of how they fit and feel, these are actually really good inside of the ear. I don't have any soreness whatsoever. They're actually very, very super lightweight, and you can use them from beginning to end in terms of that 5 hours. And I doubt many people are going to feel any type of soreness. Now, understand I do have bigger earlobes, if we're being completely honest here. So for a person that might have smaller earlobes, they might slip out a little bit. For my wife, they didn't really stay in her ears like that. She has very, very small ears. But for most people, I think that it works for medium and large without a problem. But there will be times where you might have to just kind of push them in and twist it, especially if you're doing some form of exercises, you're running, you're jogging. They do move around a little bit in that regard. Like I tried doing sit-ups with these on and they did fall out of my ears. So it's not a fit-all type of headset. It really depends on what you're doing. So basic walking, sitting in front of offices, catching buses, you know, all the stuff that doesn't really require strenuous activity, they'll probably sit in the same spot without you adjusting them too much. But if you start doing them, using them for exercise, I'm going to let you know now, especially with sweating, there's no IP rating or anything like that. So just be careful, because I always suggest using a better quality product when it comes to actual exercise. If the sweat gets into this constantly, especially in the inside right here, where the little the grill is for the speaker, you're probably going to end up damaging your headset, and you're going to and you end up damaging your headset. Sorry, and you're going to be mad that you wasted $8. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not a bad headset for the asking price of $8. Now, I never heard of Beeper personally. I'm not even sure which brand makes this, but good enough for me. The mic quality isn't the best, but it's definitely doable if you're having a regular conversation. Doesn't exactly perform great outdoors with background noises, but in pretty quiet areas it's good enough. The quality of music is really where it shines. The music doesn't sound too bad at all. If you went over this section, clear, voices whenever you're playing music. The bass is average for it to be an open ear headset. Background noises when it comes to music and stuff blend in pretty well. And even if you turn it all the way up to 100%, it wasn't like breaking up or anything like that. So it is somewhat quality, you know what I mean? And the battery life, you're getting 15 hours of battery life with this, which is 5 hours inside the case. I'm sorry, 5 hours with the headset on one charge, 10 hours in the actual case itself. Keep that in mind. Now, what I will say is if you use both earbuds at the same time and put it back in, you'll get that full 10 hours. But if you place one earbud inside of it, like you use it one at a time, the battery life may vary a little bit differently because it's just charging them at different times. Plus, you do have that clip right here, so that's pretty interesting in itself. Not bad for the asking price. Now, what I am going to say to people is understand that this review is a Five Below product, so I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're going to have this for years. Typically, at Five Below, a lot of their products are very, very cheaply made stuff, so you might get things that are defective from time to time. If you do, take it back right away and get it switched out. If it's good, then hold on to it. So for $8, not a bad sell. Like and subscribe like always, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.